Hi, my name's Richard Mansell. I'm the pastor of Ackhill Baptist Church, just outside Prestine and just south of Knighton, over the hill in a little place called Dolly Green. And this Sunday, 16th of August at 11 o'clock, we're going to be beginning our new series looking at John's Gospel. We're going to be looking at the first 18 verses, so that's chapter 1, verses 1 through to 18. Perhaps you would grab a Bible off the shelf and have a read of that passage. It's not very long, really. Or you can type it into Google. We use the English Standard Version of the Bible at church. So you could type in ESV John 1 verses 1 to 18 and you'll find it and you can read it. In life, we can only really understand anything when we put that thing in its proper context. And that's exactly what John does in these opening verses of his gospel. John goes at breakneck speed, really. In the matter of 5 words, he goes from 0 to 60 and he isn't slowing down. But what he's really doing is he's placing Jesus in context. And these 3 things he says, basically. He puts Jesus in the context, first of all, of the beginning of the world, seeing the world and all of reality with Jesus in relation to that. So that's the first thing we'll be looking at. The second thing we'll consider is how John puts Jesus in context of, you could call it the Old Testament or the Old Covenant. You know, many people, when they read the Bible, they treat it as a book. And so when they read it for the first time, they start at the beginning and work their way through to the end. But really, the Bible is a collection. It's a library of 66 different books. And they don't have to be read in the order in which they're placed. It's just that's how we often approach it. And the first 75% of the Bible is what we call the Old Testament. And although the whole Bible is about Jesus, that first 75% of all the Bible doesn't actually mention the word Jesus once, which can make it quite difficult to understand necessarily quite what's going on with it. But John places Jesus in relation to the Old Testament and to the Old Covenant that it contains. So that's the second thing he does. And the third thing that John's going to do is place Jesus in the context, relate Jesus to us. So he's going from incredibly general and broad ideas, Jesus in relation to the world in its beginning, Jesus in relation to all that's been happening in the Old Testament, in the Bible up till now, and then Jesus in relation to us. And it all boils down in the end to how we are going to respond to what John has to say to us of Jesus, whether we will reject him or whether we will receive him. So that's what we're going to be looking at, and I'd love to invite you along. 11 o'clock this Sunday. It'd be great to see you there, and we'll have a time of worship together, and then we'll look at that passage and see what it has to say. See you then.